This is Arunava Chaudhuri, and you are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. Once more, have to talk about the All India Football Federation and the situation in and around the National Sports Federation, which governs football in India. To me, the situation at the moment looks like the house is on fire, and there are different reasons to it. On one side, poor leadership at the top. One has to say that. Kalyan Chaubey and the secretary who came in to replace Shaji Prabhakaran, Anil Kumar Prabhakaran, have not gotten their house in order, have not been able to work out the financial issues around the federation. But on the other side also, the biggest contract up for renewal or not is that of Reliance-owned FSDL, which runs out in less than 9 months. And there's been no movement or no real movement on that for a certain period of time. And then on top of that, we have the courts who are interfering in the running of the federation, and not always in a proper way or in the right way, because it throws up even more questions in regard to the running of the All India Football Federation, on how people have gotten into positions of power, and also on how the future of the federation should look like. On one side, we have the Supreme Court of India, the highest court of the country, which is looking into the AIFF constitution. And it seems like they've been pushing the matter on and on and on. And it seems like, is April 16 going to be the day that there will be a judgment, or will the Honorable Court once more decide to push matters because they're in no position to take a call on it? And at some stage, some lawyer needs to tell the Supreme Court, which has not happened over the last 2-3 years, that, gentlemen, this is a matter of sports, and the law of sports stands above the law of the land. That's the rule in regard to sports across the world. And whenever there is an attempt to interfere in the running of a sporting body by the courts, the National Federation could be suspended or banned by the international body, or the same could be said of a body like the Indian Olympic Association. So that is the situation in the Supreme Court. And the other thing is, to me, is what kind of constitution is being drawn up? Because if you ask people within FIFA and the AFC, they have not been consulted, and they are the guardians of sport at a global level. I know that some people say, you know what, oh, they're also corrupt, this and that and everything. I take that all is granted. But sports is one thing where we run as per one system around the world. It's not perfect, but it is better than a lot of other things that exist around the world. And then there is the question of court cases being filed in the Delhi High Court, the latest being, of course, in regard to Anil Kumar is eligible to be Secretary General of the AIFF, should Shaji be reinstated. And there are a lot of questions. And the first question to me is, under what constitution is the Delhi High Court looking at things? Because it says there is a point in regard to the sports court which says that someone who has been part of the executive body or the executive committee of the federation cannot become a staff of the federation. I get that. That's a very, very valid point. But under what constitution are we looking at these matters? Under what constitution did the AIFF in 2022 constitute a new body? There are a lot of questions to the AIFF, but also to the courts. Under what jurisdiction, under what laws are they taking a call? And all this puts Football House on fire, because the AIFF is not doing what it needs to do, and that is government Indian football in the best interest of football in our country. And all these matters are making it much, much more complicated. I think there are a lot of people who are there in and around the federation, and my humble request would be to most of these gentlemen, or even to some of the ladies, just step away from Indian football, at least from the governance part, because you don't understand governments, you don't know what governance actually means. Let sports management professionals, let people who understand the governance of sports come in, take over sports, sort out the pressing issues, and get going with the work to improve Indian football. Otherwise, this circus, and I did a video a few days ago, which I called the Daily Indian Football Circus, will continue. And that annoys me more and more. Indian football needs to get out of this situation. Otherwise, we will go even deeper and deeper in this rot. And then I don't know if you can come out of this hole and rebuild Indian football. We need to be in a phase of stabilizing and rebuilding. Otherwise, Indian football cannot move forward. It's a big, big concern to me, and I guess a big, big concern to most Indian football fans, because what do we want? We want a successful Indian national team, be it the men's, be it the women's, be it the juniors, be it the seniors, a successful club football system, a system in which grassroots and youth football grows, in which we produce quality coaches, in which we have good quality competitions, and where we have good scouting and can promote our talent. And maybe the one or the other player goes somewhere else in the world and makes us proud. I don't want anything else. And I guess the general Indian football fan doesn't want anything else as well. This tamasha, this circus needs to end, and people need to be held accountable and not just sell their narratives and actually harm Indian football in that process. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me on these points? Do you have something to add? Write them down in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very soon. So Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.